A lot of you guys ask me relationship questions and you send me relationship queries asking for advice. Number one, thank you so much for trusting me so much. And number two, I do try to respond to as many as I can, not as an expert or anything, but just as a friend who's there for you when you need one. But I've noticed a very common pattern in most of these queries and questions. Usually, these are situations where people tell me how they're in a relationship where things are not going right, where the partner is toxic or they're hurting a lot in the relationship, their mental health is at stake. And obviously, my natural response to most of these queries are I think you need to leave the relationship. Like, you need to let this person go. And 8 out of 10 times, I get to hear, but I can't. I'm in love with that person. Or like, I cannot let them go because I love them so much. I have so much to say about this, so I'm just going to jump right into the episode.
You're listening to Overthinking This by Ocean.
Hello, dear overthinkers. Welcome to the official Overthinkers community on the internet. My name is Ocean, and on today's episode, we're talking about how love is not enough. Let me explain. Love is the most powerful emotion out there. Agreed. I love love. I love romanticizing love. I love literature and art about love. However, in relationships, love alone cannot sustain. If you want your relationship to sustain successfully, you need a lot of other things. There has to be respect, there has to be mutual efforts, consistency. Both the partners should want the relationship to go on equally. The priorities have to be on the same line. And if they are not on the same line, then there has to be this mutual desire to want to find a midway. Honesty, communication, good mechanisms to dissolve conflicts. There are a lot of other things that are required in a relationship. So if you're in a relationship and it's not working out and you are banking on just the love you have, I'm so sorry to break it to you, but that might not be the best way to keep a relationship going. You cannot bank on love alone. Love does not remain the same at all times. Love keeps changing and it needs a lot of other things to support it. Love is like the foundation, it's the bare minimum. I know love is the biggest force that perhaps could exist, but it is still the basic or the bare minimum in a relationship. Loving someone is the bare minimum. Now, to keep loving someone, to express that love, to make sure that love is comfortable for both, that is what's required in a relationship, and you need a lot more other things for it. Having said that, I also want to mention that if you're in a toxic relationship, I will always encourage you to find yourself and find the courage to leave. However, I will be the last person to judge you for not leaving fast enough. I know that it's not that easy to get out of a toxic relationship. From the outside, things may seem very simple and the solutions may seem so easy. But when you are in a toxic relationship, it's not that easy to get out. There's so many questions that are never answered. There's so many whys, and sometimes you're disappointed, you're hurt, you don't know how to navigate through it, especially when you're very young. Especially people who are in school or colleges, and you're getting into your first relationships. The reason they are so tough and difficult to deal with is because you're just new into it and you don't realize how to run a relationship. And you don't realize that when things are not working out the way you want them to work out, how do you deal with it? If you're currently listening to this episode or you're watching this episode and you're in a toxic relationship, trust me, I'm not here to judge you or to make you feel bad for not leaving fast enough. I'm just here to make you feel more comfortable with the idea of leaving. If I had to explain the whole idea of how love is not enough to you better, I would use it in a different context. This does not just stand true for relationship. It also stands true for other things. Like if you're passionate about something, like for instance, if you're passionate about running a podcast, now that passion and love is not enough. You also have to be disciplined. You have to be consistent. There are going to be days where you don't feel like it and you would have to do it. Your love alone will not encourage you to keep going. Your love alone will not make you want to open your notebook every single day and take down notes or to charge your camera so that you can record a podcast episode. Love will not make you do that. Consistency, discipline, your priorities, these are things that will make you want to do this every single day. And you know what's funny? Sometimes when people are in relationships, it's not even the love that's holding them back. it's not love. Sometimes it is grave attachment issues. Sometimes it is not understanding what went wrong. When we get into relationships and we choose someone, right? Like you get into a relationship, you choose someone, you're making a choice, you're trusting someone so much, you're banking all your trust, your efforts, your time into one person. When you give someone so much importance, you also think highly of them. Obviously, when you're choosing to be in a relationship with someone, it's because you think of them as a really good person. But when they do something that disappoints you or hurts you, it makes you question your own choices. For the longest time, people choose to stay in a relationship so that they could just prove their choice right. I've seen so many people giving terrible relationships another chance just so that they can prove to themselves that no, this person is not that bad. It's not your fault if the person you chose to love turned out to be something different. It's not your fault if they changed. It's not your fault if they did not love you the way you thought they would love you. It's okay. It's okay if you trusted someone and they did not stand true to their words. It's not your fault. It was not your problem. Another reason why a lot of people choose to stay in difficult relationships is because they have this whole idea of, I will never find someone better. Why would you not find someone better? Why do you think so less of yourself? And mind you, these are situations where you're being treated terribly. Like this person is not even talking to you properly, is abusive, and you think nobody will treat you better than that. You will always find someone who will treat you better. And you know how you will find that person? When you start treating yourself better. When you draw those boundaries for yourself. When you respect yourself enough, you will never let someone else disrespect you. When you start loving yourself enough, you will stop sticking on to people just for the bare minimum. You deserve better, and you need to give that to yourself first. You know how everybody romanticizes the idea of, I love this person, but this person doesn't love me back, and that's great. I love art and literature around love. In fact, if you love someone and they don't love you back, I am not asking you to let go of that love. You can practice all of it in art and literature, but please do not stay there and wait for them to keep pushing you off and off until they do something bad enough for you to leave. What's the worst thing they'll have to do for you to leave them? What's your benchmark worst? Love is beautiful, and there's no greater feeling than being so madly in love with someone that thinking about them brings tears to your eyes. However, that beautiful love remains restored and beautiful only if you choose to also fulfill other responsibilities that come with it. That love would not be beautiful if there weren't efforts, if there wasn't consistency, if there wasn't, oh, we had a fight, come back, let's resolve it. All those things are essential. And if you're sticking on to a toxic relationship thinking that love will be enough to take it forward, I'm so sorry to break your heart, but that won't be possible. You know how I mentioned in the beginning of the episode about you guys asking me questions and I answering them? I think it'd be better if I started answering questions in the podcast episode itself. So from now on, I've decided that I'm going to answer a couple questions in each episode. We can think of a name for the segment of the episode. If you have any suggestions, let me know. But here is the question of the episode. Hi, I'm not sure if you will see this. I hope it's okay to ask you something. Oh, it's always okay. Please feel free to ask me questions all the time. Is it okay if your boyfriend sends his female batchmates reels, funny stuff? But I had specifically told him not to keep contact with one of them. He had not sent to only her but everyone in his group, but he kept contact with that girl without my knowledge. You can call me toxic for this, but I do agree that if your partner is not okay with you keeping in contact or keeping in touch with someone, then you should limit your contact and you should limit your interactions. If there's some past involved or you know that the other person has feelings for you, then there should be no contact or the least contact possible. Secondly, you should not be going out of your way to interact with them, contact them. You can definitely avoid sending reels if your partner is not okay with it. And number 3, if you happen to have an interaction, let's say if it's a colleague and it was some work stuff, always let your partner know. Even if it was as simple as a hi and a hello, always keep your partner in loop. In this particular scenario, it seems like this conversation is pretty new to your relationship. If it is so, just remind him once again that you're not comfortable with it. It was sent to the entire batch and it was some funny stuff. So maybe you can let it slide this time, but you can definitely have the conversation. Ask him to not initiate contact from his end if there's no reason at all. And if he happens to have an interaction with that woman particularly, tell him to keep you in loop and tell him to please avoid it at all costs. Also, if your partner is deleting their interactions with someone, honey, that's a red flag. I answered a question of yours. Now it's time for you to answer a question of mine. Your question is, what's one thing that you do to express love to yourself? Like, what's one self-love thing you do? Of course, it's skincare and stuff like that, but what's one ritual that you follow? Or what's like one thing that you did that was to showcase love to yourself? Like, maybe it could be standing up for yourself, or it could be leaving someone, or leaving a toxic workplace. I think if you leave these answers in the comments, if you DM them to me and I repost, it could really help other people feel inspired to stand up for themselves. Like, one very tiny thing I do is I have started being more mindful of taking meals on time and then eating better. I never used to do that. I would like eat whenever I could remember to eat, but I've been very particular about eating on time now, and for me that's like a way of showing love to myself. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode. That is all for today. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening. If you enjoyed the episode, please give it 5 stars on Spotify, like the video, leave a comment, and follow the podcast and me on Instagram. All details will be in the description. If you haven't yet, please follow the podcast along. Join the Overthinkers community. This is a podcast where all of us overthinkers, we come together and we talk about things that only overthinkers think about. I'm sending you a lot of good energy and vibes. Chalo. Bye.